What's going on, guys? This is Chandler Smith, and this is the most scared I have ever been. In this video, I'm gonna share why and what I plan on doing about it. But with all of that being said, let's jump into it. All right, guys, if you're new to the channel, you know that I've been investing in real estate for the last 9+ years. I currently own 180 units of residential real estate. I also own 2 storage unit complexes. And if you follow the channel, you know that I've gotten to purchase a lot of crazy fun stuff over the last couple years. From building my dream home, to buying supercars, to going on extravagant vacations. Throughout all of these major successes, throughout having the biggest earning year of my life, I came to find that right now, at this point in my life, I am more scared, stressed, overwhelmed than I have ever been at any other point in my life. Now, I first off want to start by saying that this is not clickbait. This is not a bait and switch into flipping it into a positive or anything else. This is just me deciding to be completely honest and transparent on the channel because 1, I needed to be honest with myself, and 2, I wanted to be honest with the viewers because I think there are a myriad of reasons this is happening to me, and I also think that it's happening to a lot of people that watch this channel. Now, throughout the last couple years, I will say I have learned a ton. I've been able to amass a lot of wealth, build my net worth, buy a lot of fun things. On top of that, I've also gone through a lot. Last year, my brother was diagnosed with cancer and had to do 6 months of treatment and a myriad of other things. My wife was also diagnosed with colon cancer, had to go through surgery and 6 months of chemotherapy. We've had different scares even after getting through that, and it's something that we'll continue to have to deal with. When you hop on social media, you see a lot of positivity, but you also see a ton of negativity. You see a lot of people that are accomplishing big things, and it creates a gap. I share things on social media because I want to inspire and I want to show what's possible. But also, I have to recognize that every time I show that, I know there are lots of other people that are out there working hard, going through their own trials and struggles. And anytime you see that, hopefully it's inspiring in part, but I also know that it makes you feel this gap. The reason that I made this video is I want you to know that we all feel that gap. Now, there might be some of you that are saying, Chandler, I don't feel a gap. Like, you're not that cool, you haven't accomplished that much. But I also know there are other people out there that have talked to me and said, man, I wish I could accomplish what you've accomplished. I wish I could do what you're doing. I want everyone to understand that it doesn't matter what place you are in life, you're going to feel that gap, you're going to feel that stress, you're going to feel that fear, and it's something that's very natural. Being able to look in the mirror and look at you guys and say, yeah, like I feel more fear and more stress right now than I think I ever have in my life is something that's gonna be beneficial for me because it shouldn't be that way. So I don't wanna spiral into repeating myself, but I do want you to know that right now I'm extremely fearful, and I recognize that having more money or having more security or having less or more risk or accomplishing more or less isn't going to change those emotions. Now, it can help, right? Being financially responsible, it does help. Accomplishing things that you're passionate about, that's a good cause, that's a good thing. More than anything else, I've come to terms with the fact that your perspective and your mental health, your physical health, those that are closest to you, those are the things that matter most. I'll also be the first one to tell you that there are things in your life you can't control that are going to force these things upon you. And if you choose to do things properly, you can get into a better place, but there are also going to be things you can't control that will make you feel fear, that will make you feel sadness. And being able to zoom out and say, hey, this is part of life. Every light has a shadow, every negative has a positive, every success, was accompanied by failures, and recognize that these lows are just part of it. That's going to be the best thing that you can do. Now that I've covered that and just been completely honest and transparent with you, I'm gonna share with you the things that I'm doing because I recognize that some of these things I should control better. And I found that they have helped me in the past, and I know they're going to help me now. If you enjoyed this video, if you like me just being honest with you, then it'd be awesome if you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell and see the things that I've done to get to where I'm at. and know that I'm gonna do everything that I can in this video and in future videos to just be upfront and honest with you. Now, if you're one of those people that has lost money in the stock market, that's worried about what real estate's going to do next, that's worried about family or friends or the uncontrollables in your life, first off, I wanna tell you I'm sorry. And I know that those are hard and I know that they're difficult, but I also know that there are lots of things that you can do to make those lows better. One quote I saw recently that I loved, it's actually a quote from Alex Hermosi, and maybe he got it from someone else, but it says, "We cannot both hope for an easy life and an epic story. When your trials are trivial, so too are your accomplishments." You're going to have hard things, you're going to have difficult things, but also a lot of that fear and anxiety and stress is self-inflicted. And so finding the balance between, hey, hard is good, and also I don't need to self-inflict myself with this over-the-top fear because of what I'm focusing on is also something that needs to be taken into consideration, which brings us to what I'm doing to help through some of these emotions and this fear and these other things that come with the ups and downs of life. Number one, I have a ripcord. When I hit my extreme lows, I go through a process that kind of pulls me out of them. Look at the things that you're passionate about. Look at your why, look at your goals, and focus on that. It's very exciting. It helps get you pumped. It helps you kind of refocus. The next thing is show gratitude. The more that you can find the positive and focus on the positive, the better off you're going to be. So I go through a process of, hey, you know, what am I grateful for? What are the things that are going well? What are the unexpected positives that came out of this scenario or out of this day? I like to visualize things. Literally putting myself in an experience and playing out a couple scenarios, it gets me motivated, it gets me excited, and it helps me live through the struggle into the good thing, so that when I do hit the struggles, rather than being crippled by them, I can say, hey, no, I've been through this before, I've found the success, I can do it again in real life. And a lot of times both of those overlap because I've visualized it so many times that I've made it possible to get through and to get to the positive. I kind of take a step back and I, try and put some perspective to things. You can usually find a lot more positives when you step back and say, hey, what am I focusing on, and how can I focus more on the good things? And how can I see the bad things for what they are? And usually they're not as bad as you let them be when you go into that cycle of just thinking about the negatives or just thinking about fear. So zoom out, see the big picture, try and get perspective, try and view the positives. I've come to find that once I've gone through that ripcord and then I do whatever I can to just take action, to move my body, to do something productive, every single day has a positive that you can pull out of it. If you are someone that's a high performer or you want to be a high performer, you're gonna look at yourself through a lens that is very judgmental. So if you can recognize that in yourself and pull out the positives and say, hey, no, I am winning. I am doing good things. I am striving to be the best individual that I can. That's going to help. The last thing I've come to find that's really helped me is stepping back and making sure that you understand your values, that you understand what is important to you, and that you align your actions with those values. For me to share this video, it took a lot because today is one of those days where I just don't feel positive. And I've done these videos before because everyone goes through that. Even if you look at the people that you look up to the very most, and even if they don't publicize it, I promise you they have lows too. They have days where they're lacking motivation. They have days where they feel fear. They have days where things just don't come together for them. Recognize that, hey, they're human too. They go through negatives and they didn't produce this content to make me feel down. They produced it to motivate me and help me push through. One of my mentors, Ves, he's actually the owner of Aptiv, the company I'm the VP of sales at, said, it's okay to have a bad day, but do everything you can to not have 2 bad days in a row. So that's what I'm striving to do, is not only to not have a bad day, but to not have 2 bad days in a row or even 2 bad hours. Today, I had a bunch of videos that I wanted to do, but it wouldn't have been authentic doing them because of the headspace that I was in. So I could have chose to say, hey, I'm just not gonna do a video today, Or I kind of chose the alternative. I said, no, I want to put this out. I want to let people know I'm feeling crappy because it's something I can very authentically talk about. And I hope that you, if you're having a bad day, see this video and it helps push you out of it. Because for me, going through this process and sharing it with you, it was something productive and it helped me. And now I really hope it helps you. So if it did, remember to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell. If it didn't, figure out what your RIPCORD is, figure out what you need to do, and don't be so hard on yourself. So with all of that being said, have a great day.